Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the City of Glendale's Memorial Day ceremony. I'm Interim Fire Chief Jeff Brooks, and it's a privilege to stand before you as today's MC. We gather here not only as a community, but as a grateful nation, united in remembrance and gratitude for those who gave their lives in defense of our freedoms. Memorial Day is a solemn reminder of the extraordinary bravery and commitment of the men and women in uniform who paid the ultimate price. Their legacy lives on through our continued remembrance. As we begin today's ceremony, let us carry with us a deep sense of reverence for the lives lost and a renewed commitment to honoring their sacrifice, not just today, but every day. At this time, if you can all please stand, I'd like to invite the Glendale Police Department's Honor Guard for the presentation of colors, followed by Sebastian Ochoa, who will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and broad stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to GPD Honor Guard and Sammy Ochoa for singing the national anthem. At this time, I'd like to invite Glendale Police Department Chaplain Mel Barnes for our Memorial Day invocation.
Thank you, Chief. I don't know if everybody hear me. Do you care to hear me? That's the main thing. Today, we look at this black wall behind us of all the names. Most of us didn't know these names. I know a couple of folks that are on the Vietnam Wall. And Memorial Day is a day of remembrance, day of reverence, but also every day is Memorial Day someplace in the United States. There are families that are still grieving for those that were killed in these different wars. They visit their loved ones at the gravesite. Mothers, fathers, wives, sisters, brothers, all of them remember how these soldiers died. And today we have to give not only respect, but different remembrances, but try to remember also the good times that if you've known anybody that has passed away because of a war, the times that you spent with them, because you never know what's going to happen the very next day. And I'd like to read you a prayer here that I think that's very germane to why we're here today. It's, Dear Lord, honor what was given. They put on a uniform. They answered the call. Knowing the risks, they stood alongside their brothers and sisters in combat and in service. They made the ultimate sacrifice while serving our country and protecting us. Beyond what was lost, let's remember everything that they gave in Jesus' name. And in closing, I would like to pronounce a blessing to all of you here, if I may. Lord, smile upon these few folks that are here, that are in reverence of those days of the folks that were lost. Smile upon them and be gracious. May you look their way and with your right hand bless them, bestow mercy, and bestow peace. In Jesus' name, thank you.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us on this meaningful day as we come together to observe Memorial Day. As your mayor, it is an honor to stand before you. I am deeply proud to represent a city that shows up with heart, with gratitude, and with purpose to pay tribute to the brave men and women who have served our country. The memorial wall behind me is more than just a list of names. It is a solemn testament to lives lived with courage, with honor, and with a sense of duty greater than self. Each name represents a story of sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, neighbors and friends who wore the uniform in defense of the ideals that we hold dear: freedom, justice, peace. Today, we pause to remember them not only as fallen soldiers, but as members of our community whose legacy continues to shape us. I'd like to share the words of President Ronald Reagan, who once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to the next generation for them to do the same." That quote speaks to me, and it's the very essence of why we gather today. The freedom that we enjoy was not guaranteed. It was earned, protected, and passed on by those willing to give everything. So it is now our shared responsibility not just to remember them, but to live lives that honor their sacrifice and to ensure that freedom endures here in Glendale and across the nation. As mayor, I could not be more proud of the people of this city, our veterans, our active service members, our families, and every resident who comes together each year to show that remembrance matters. Glendale has long been a city that values service, honors sacrifice, and strives to build a better world, not just through words, but through action. We are honored to have many elected officials with us today who will also be sharing their thoughts. So I'll close with this. Thank you for being here and for helping to keep the spirit of Memorial Day alive in Glendale. May we always be a city that remembers and a city that honors. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Laura Friedman, and I'm honored to represent Glendale in the United States Congress. I want to start by thanking all of you who have been here year after year, and I've seen so many faces as I've gone to this event for many, many years. And I want to especially thank and welcome those of you who are here for the very first time. I hope it's the first time of many, and I'm so thankful to live in a city that commemorates Memorial Day in such a grand way every single year. So I want to thank all of the Glendale city employees that make this event possible, and certainly all of our first responders for everything that you all do to keep us safe year after year. Over 200 years ago, our nation was founded by a group of people who did something that I don't think had ever been done before. They actually took pen to paper and met for weeks on end to pen a document that outlined a way for a new type of governance and a new type of country where every single person would be born equal. And at the time, that was pretty radical. And they outlined in the Constitution a document to make sure that everybody was free and independent. And yes, people have joined the military for years to protect the lives of our citizens, to protect our homeland, but also to support that document and that concept of freedom, that very American concept of equality. So in the United States Congress, I get a thrill every time I walk into the Capitol building because it's a place that embodies those principles. And being in Congress has also given me the opportunity to meet with military officials at every level. And I get to meet with men and women who have dedicated their lives to being in the military, all of the different branches. And I can tell you after meeting these people, and I know that you all know this, they are truly our best and our brightest. People who are dedicated to protecting America. And that's why on a Memorial Day, when we honor people, it's also important to remember that we honor those who went to war and gave the ultimate sacrifice and who were the best and the brightest of their generations. And they have left a huge mark on our city and on our nation. So how do we honor them? We honor them, of course, by commemorating Memorial Day. We honor them, I hope, by making sure that when veterans return home, they get the support that they need. They have housing. And I'm so proud of Glendale for building one of the first affordable housing projects dedicated to returning veterans, to make sure that we support our veterans through the VA, through PTSD services, through all of the ways that we can thank them and support them and their families. We also support them by remembering that what they sacrificed themselves for, that vision of America, is something that we all need to fight for at home each and every day through our actions of community, of taking care of each other, of treating all of our fellow citizens with respect. Now, if you speak to a service member, they will tell you that on the battlefield, they didn't stop to ask someone if they are a Democrat or a Republican. They were their brothers in arms. And that's the way that we need to think of all Americans, particularly on Memorial Day, that we are all Americans, we are all bound by our shared values of democracy, of empathy, of making sure that everyone in this country has opportunities. And the best way to honor our fallen service members is to make that vision real through our lives every single day. You know, there's a saying that on the battlefield there are no atheists. Well, on the battlefield there are only patriots. That we know for a fact. And so we have to remember our fallen as the heroes that they were, not just today and every day. Thank you so much for being here, and God bless America.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sasha Renee Perez, and I'm very proud to be the senator for the 25th Senate District, which includes all of the city of Glendale, Pasadena, Altadena, much of our foothills in the West San Gabriel Valley. I want to extend my gratitude to the city of Glendale, Mayor Najarian, and his staff for organizing today's Memorial Day ceremony, giving me the opportunity to join you all. It is my greatest honor to join you here and pay my respects to those who have served our country with dignity and distinction. We owe you so much more than can ever be repaid. Your sacrifice enables our peace and comfort, and those contributions should be distinguished with the highest honor and respect. Today, we honor our fallen heroes, but I would also like to acknowledge and give a special thank you to our local heroes who have served and continue to serve to keep our communities safe, especially when we needed them most amidst the Eaton Canyon fire. So thank you to Chief Brooks and your department for your courageous acts of valor this January and in ensuring citizens of Glendale, Altadena, and Pasadena had people they could depend on. Please join me in giving them a round of applause for their heroisms. Freedom is not free, and our unity and love for country are bound by your humility and dedication to it. Our fallen service members paid the ultimate price, and their families did as well. The heroes our nation lost were children, spouses, irreplaceable loved ones. Of the 1.2 million veterans living in California, I have the privilege of serving approximately 24,500 of them between Los Angeles County and San Bernardino County. So I understand the importance of taking every opportunity to listen to veterans and military families, whether their histories are rooted in World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, Somalia, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq, or elsewhere. They always leave me in awe. And it is because our armed services perform the highest acts of valor, I have pledged to ensure that we do everything within our power in the state of California to do right by our veterans and military families. Our veterans and military families deserve affordable housing, affordable health care, educational, professional, and entrepreneurial opportunities, and much, much more. For me, memorializing the sacrifices our brothers and sisters in uniform have made for us to enjoy our freedom is a sacred duty. As I end my remarks, please know my prayer is a soldier's prayer for courage, strength, and dedication to the loved ones of those who paid the ultimate price, to all of our veterans and military families, and to everyone whose tremendous love for this country and her people motivates them to serve in uniform. On this Memorial Day, I say thank you, God bless you, God bless the state of California, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right, well, it's wonderful to be with you all in the Jewel City today. You know, I had a couple prepared remarks, but as I sat and listened to all the incredible remarks of our mayor, our member of Congress, and our senator, I just wanted to speak from the heart for a few brief moments, if that's all right. I want to begin by saying Happy Memorial Day to each and every one of you. And I start with that because when I think about the phrase Happy Memorial Day, it's such a misnomer to me. It's a somber day. It's a day of remembrance, and yet we celebrate it with joy. As we leave this place today, many of us will be with our families. We'll be celebrating. We'll have barbecues. We'll spend time with loved ones. And it's always struck me how interesting of a concept that is. It's both a tragic and a beautiful moment in the course of our daily lives. And before I go on, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy 21st century lives to be together today so we can celebrate. I think what I would say is this. Only in America will folks join the ranks of our armed forces, leave the only home that they've ever known, and lay down their life, not at the order of a king, not at the order of any person, but because of a belief in the ideals of this country. The things that we take for granted. I think what is lost in Memorial Day, in my humble opinion, is we focus so much on the act, the sacrifice that these incredible people have made, and that is absolutely worthy of celebration and remembrance. But it's equally important to understand what they gave their lives for. We live in the greatest country that the world has or ever will know. And that is because as you look at these amazing elected officials up here, whether you voted for them or not, our leaders are chosen by our communities. We believe that our country is stronger because we have a free press, because we can criticize our government, because we can scrutinize those who represent us. We believe in checks and limitations on executive power. We believe in the rule of law and that no individual is above the law. And those are things that are not given freely. They are hard fought. They must be earned and they must be renewed with every generation that continues. So I leave you all with this today. As we leave this place together, let's remember each and every name that is etched on that wall, every person who paid the ultimate price, who gave everything that they had so that we could live free. And let's commit to not only remembering them and living the best of our lives as we possibly can, but let's remember what they gave their lives for. Freedom does not come for free. It is not a free price. There is a price to pay for the democracy that we live in, and the best way that we can safeguard it, the best way that we can honor them, is to understand that what we have inherited, we have a responsibility to give to the next generation. In these trying times when we feel so divided, we see not only threats abroad, but so much extremism right here at home. It is more important than ever that we continue to defend our institutions and defend our free press and ensure that America remains free for all. Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Thank you, Glendale Police Department Explorers. It's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Captain Tom Nicola. Captain Nicola is a proud second-generation firefighter and third-generation military veteran. For over 23 years, he has served the city of Glendale with dedication as a paramedic, an engineer, and now as the city's emergency manager, leading efforts to keep our community safe and resilient. Before his career in the fire service, Captain Nicola served in the United States Marine Corps from 1992 to 1997. As a sergeant and CH-46 helicopter crew chief, he was stationed at Marine Corps Air Stations Tustin and El Toro. In 1995, he deployed aboard the USS New Orleans with HMM-164 Night Riders on a peacekeeping mission to Jordan and Kuwait, logging over 1,000 flight hours in service to our nation. For his contributions, he was awarded the National Defense and Southwest Asia Service Medals. Today, as we honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, we are privileged to hear from someone who has worn the uniform, served with courage, and continues to lead in the spirit of duty and sacrifice. Please join me in welcoming a dedicated public servant, a Marine Corps veteran, and our keynote speaker, Captain Tom Nicola.
Good morning. I feel like so much has already been said. I hope I can do this keynote address speech its due service. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, fellow veterans, and a special heartfelt welcome to our Gold Star families as we gather here this morning to honor the brave men and women of our country who valiantly gave their lives so that we may continue to enjoy the freedoms in the place we call home. I am honored and yet deeply humbled by the opportunity to express not only the gratitude, but the profound sorrow felt throughout our nation's history by the families, friends, and loved ones who remain silent but never forgotten. The names of those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice are etched in stone at memorials and cemeteries across the nation, and a solemn reminder that freedom is not free. When standing before them, they reflect the fighting American spirit of courage, resilience, in the face of uncertainty and unimaginable odds of obvious peril. We owe it to these great men and women who served to honor their lives with reverence to an oath that only those that have taken it and were committed to seeing it through know its true meaning. To lay down one's life for the sake of another is the greatest demonstration of love. Their love is recited by an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, regardless of personal or political beliefs. These are powerful words and best summed up in a quote by one of our nation's greatest presidents, a man committed to seeing the good that arises from a united nation, seeking liberty and justice for all. Abraham Lincoln said, "Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. It is the daily triumph of integrity over skepticism." As I stand here before you today, reflecting on the beauty of this country, I am reminded that it is the unwavering commitment of our fallen heroes who dedicated their lives to serving this nation so that future generations may carry on this vision of humanity. It is the people in our own lives, like my dad, Chief Warrant Officer 3, Tommy Lee Stubblefield, who served in Vietnam in the Navy and later re-enlisted in the Army, that inspire us to dare greatly. His stories of the friends he lost and the experience of returning home had left its mark on his soul. My grandparents, my mother's mom and dad, Eva and Roy Latham, both served in the Navy during World War II, with Grandpa Roy serving in the Pacific aboard a destroyer that was hit multiple times by kamikaze attacks. My father's dad, whom we affectionately called Papa Nick, was truly one of those men from the greatest generation that books are written about. The accounts from a book about the 8th Air Force 390th Bombardment Group are stories of heroism and unyielding resolve men like my grandfather showed as a B-17 bomber pilot flying missions in World War II over Nazi Germany. Each mission a testament of courage as they flew into the abyss while enemy flak exploded all around their flying fortress, etched against a smoke-filled sky. I can picture my grandfather's trembling hands, gripped against the controls as they limped the aircraft named "This Is It," back home. Crippled wings riddled with flak and smoking engines failing to start, their resilience was not born of an indifference to fear, but of devotion to one another and to the cause. When a fortress limped home, it carried with it the silent prayers of pilots, navigators, and waist gunners as they faced unimaginable odds, not as legends, but as ordinary men who chose to rise again and again. Flying an average of 25 to 30 missions, they knew the odds of returning home were about 60%. And yet, day after day, they climbed aboard to buckle up and press onward for a world they believed was worth saving. During World War II, roughly 26,000 crew members serving bomber groups were killed, adding to the nearly 416,800 American service members who gave their life. Since our nation was founded, approximately 1.3 million veterans have given their life in service of their country, and today another 1.3 million service members serve in the United States Armed Forces, both at home and abroad. On this Memorial Day, think about the faces of the people who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and those still devoted to defending our nation's freedoms. The men and women whose bonds are forged in fire, committed to defending our way of life, even if it means giving their own. As a Marine, I am proud to continue to serve alongside such great men and women of our city's fire and police department, as our professions are also forged in fire through the camaraderie of shared experiences in service to others. As we stand here today, surrounded by the enduring legacy of those who gave their last full measure of devotion, we are reminded that sacrifice is not confined to history. It lives in the freedoms we cherish, the communities we build, and the ideals we strive to uphold. To the Gold Star families among us, your loved ones' names are not etched in stone alone. They are etched in the soul of this nation. They are the reason we gather to tell the stories of uncommon valor in the tapestry of America's story, woven by ordinary people who chose extraordinary sacrifice. Today, let us renew our own commitment to honor their legacy, not just with words, but with actions. To bridge divides, reconnect our souls with those of humanity, and honor those standing watch across the globe. Their oath, our oath, is not just a nation, but to one another. So let us leave here today with a resolve as steadfast as the heroes we honor. Let us dare greatly as they did. Let us live in a way that ensures their sacrifice was not in vain. In the words of the 390th Bombardment Group's veterans, forged in fire, we rise. May we too rise, united, grateful, and unwavering in our commitment to the America they believed in. Thank you for coming to honor our fallen. May God bless them, our veterans, and this great nation.